The content of this podcast is provided for general informational purposes only and is not intended as, nor should it be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. I am Karen Nickel, family nurse practitioner, and you are listening to Itchy and Bitchy, a podcast that provides answers to your many unanswered health questions. Before we get into today's Itchy and Bitchy episode, I would like to share with you my latest project and how you can help me with the project. I am currently doing research to develop an online class to help women in their perimenopausal years, basically age 35 to 50-ish, who have developed symptoms that can include fatigue, insomnia, foggy thinking, low sex drive, body changes, breast tenderness, and mood changes. That's all, just a few things. And these women have often been evaluated by a healthcare practitioner and told that all testing completed is normal and are given no answers to address their symptoms. If you are experiencing or you know someone who is experiencing this change in life, I would love to connect to you via Zoom to ask a few questions so that I can make sure to develop a course that addresses the most common and most challenging symptoms of perimenopause. I have set up a calendar on Calendly for you or someone you know to schedule an appointment to chat with me about this project within the next 30 days or so. I will put the link to schedule an appointment on our Facebook page, which is IMB Podcast, and on our website, which is itchyandbitchy.com. It's a long address, so I'm not going to read it out. It'll be posted on our Facebook page and our website. I look forward to hearing from you or someone you know who is experiencing perimenopausal symptoms and are willing to assist me by taking some time to share your story with me. It will only take about 30 minutes, and with your help, I plan on developing a life-changing online course. Please consider it. I look forward to hearing from you. Now, on to our episode for today. This is for my cousin Connie. She keeps asking me this question, and I thought, I better just do a podcast on this. So I'm going to talk to you today about expired medications, over-the-counter and prescription medications, and when we should get rid of them, why we should get rid of them, and how to get rid of these medications. Starting in 1979, the United States Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, stated that all prescription and over-the-counter medications would need an expiration date. This expiration date would guarantee a medication's stability and efficacy up to that date as long as it was in the original container. Expiration dates are required by law to ensure that all drug products meet specific, quote, standards of identity, strength, quality, and purity at the time of use, end quote. Every expiration date is determined by stability testing performed by the drug manufacturers, not by the government, by the drug manufacturers. The stability testing is designed to determine the appropriate storage conditions and expiration dates. This testing includes putting the med in different storage conditions, for example, varying room temperatures, humidity, and light exposure. The tests are conducted with the product in the container in which the drug is marketed. It is important to note that drug expiration dates do not always mean that a drug has been found to be unstable after the date of expiration. This is where it gets confusing. The expiration date is the date that the manufacturer has determined a medication to be stable in the original sealed container based on stability testing. Once the seal on the medication's original container has been broken, the expiration date may not apply because all expiration dates are related to the storage conditions stated on the labeling. Now, I know that most of us don't pick up a prescription or over-the-counter med and just put it on the shelf and never open it, but it is good to know that the expiration date is based on storage of the med in a sealed container. There are situations in which the expiration date can be extended, but that is not something to be determined by you or me. In preparation for national health emergencies, the United States government has created medical countermeasures, or MCMs. We have an abbreviation for everything, acronym for everything. MCMs include FDA-regulated products that consist of biologics, drugs, and devices stockpiled by the government and by some private sector partners. Some types of drugs that may be included in MCM stockpiles are antimicrobials, like antibiotics, and antiviral drugs. The Department of Defense stockpiles medications to be used in national medical emergencies. Since all drugs are required by law to have an expiration date and are not approved for use past their expiration date, in 1986, the U.S. Department of Defense began something called the Shelf Life Extension Program, or SLEP. Not SHLEP, but SLEP. The purpose of SLEP is to prevent the need to replace stockpiles of medications every few years, and they avoid frequent replacement by testing the stockpiles to see if they are still stable instead of just throwing them away. Currently, as you can imagine, testing medications for expiration dating extensions focuses on military significant products or drugs purchased in large quantities. Two drugs that are stockpiled in large quantities are the antibiotics ciprofloxacin and doxycycline. It is interesting to note that when stockpiled meds are tested through the SLEP program, the expiration dates of 88% of the 122 medications that are stored in ideal conditions were extended by 66 months. So 88% of the 122 meds that were tested in ideal conditions, their expiration date was extended by 66 months. I'm not saying that you should use that as a guideline and that you should keep your meds for an additional 5.5 years after the expiration date, but it does show that if stored as recommended on the bottle, the med could be stable long after the stated expiration date. Another way drugs can be authorized for use past their expiration date is through an emergency use authorization, EUA. Before a drug can be authorized for use, the Health and Human Services Secretary must issue a declaration justifying the use of the drug past the expiration date. A drug can be authorized for use beyond expiration date for chemical, biological, radiological, and or nuclear emergencies. Sort of scary talking about all that, but those are the situations in which we can extend stockpile medication expiration dates. After this quick break, I'll go over the meds that can be dangerous if taken after their expiration date. I'll be right back. My listeners know that I address a lot of women's health issues on this podcast, and Everlywell Women's Health Test measures 11 biomarkers known to play a role in your overall health and wellness and checks for any abnormal levels that may be keeping you from feeling your best. With over 30 at-home lab tests, you'll be able to choose the test that makes the most sense for you to get the answers you need, like the Women's Health Test or a food sensitivity test, all at an affordable and transparent price. When you know more about your body, you can do more. Here's how it works. Everlywell ships products straight to you with everything needed in one package. To take your at-home test, simply collect your sample and use the included prepaid shipping label to mail your test back to a certified lab. Your physician-reviewed results get sent back to you by phone or device in just days. And you can share the results with your primary care provider to help guide steps. If you ordered vitamins and supplements, you can start taking those on your daily routine right away. So it's simple. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell to support their health and wellness goals. I chose to do Everlywell's food sensitivity testing. The process was super easy, the instructions are very clear, and a prepaid shipping label is included. So I just put the completed test in the package that is included and sent it off. Within days, I had easy to read results. I have told people repeatedly, probably too many times, that when I eat chicken, it just makes me feel tired. So when I think it, I always think, well, maybe I should be avoiding chicken. Well, I completed the Everlywell food sensitivity testing, and lo and behold, chicken is on my list of sensitivities. Go figure. What are the chances? Now I know to do the 2-part elimination diet and add back challenge for chicken and the other foods on my list. You just need to do this. And for listeners of the show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/itchy. That's everlywell.com/itchy for 20% off your next at-home lab test. everlywell.com/itchy. My patients often ask me if it's dangerous to take meds past the expiration date. Many meds lose strength over time, so they might not work as well after the expiration date, and it isn't a big problem if we're talking about something like, an over-the-counter antihistamine like Zyrtec, Allegra, Claritin that you take for allergies. It might not control the allergy symptoms as well, but it won't be dangerous if your nose is a little more watery or your eyes a little more itchy. However, some medications, when expired, can have a decrease in efficacy, change in chemical composition, or harbor bacterial growth and can cause serious problems. There are some specific meds that can be dangerous or have significant health consequences if used past their expiration date. Liquid antibiotics and medicated eye drops have been linked to bacterial growth due to non-sterile compounding procedures, and these meds also can be easily contaminated with bacteria from your mouth or your eyes. If you touch your eye with the tip of the eye drop bottle, or you stick the spoon or syringe in your liquid antibiotic after you've put the utensil in your mouth, you have contaminated the medication, and it's high risk for bacterial growth. So please do not use these type meds past their expiration date. The medication nitroglycerin, which is very sensitive to heat, moisture, and light, breaks down very quickly. Nitroglycerin is the med used to make blood vessels dilate in someone who has heart disease with narrowing of the arteries. So it's pretty darn important for the med to be potent and effective. As a provider, I always tell people who take nitroglycerin that after the medication has been opened, it may no longer be effective. I have asked patients to show me their nitroglycerin bottle that has usually been prescribed by their cardiologist, and frequently the med was last filled 5 or more years prior, and the tablets have literally turned to dust. It is not good. For those of you out there who do use nitroglycerin as needed versus daily, there is a spray nitroglycerin that remains stable much longer than the tablets. Also, there are studies that show that the spray versus a tablet form provides faster relief of chest pain. So if you're walking around with a little brown bottle of dust medicine, check out or talk to your provider about getting spray nitroglycerin. Serious kidney problems can occur in someone taking old tetracycline, which is an antibiotic. As tetracycline degrades, the byproducts that are created can lead to really serious illness. So if you have an expired tetracycline prescription in your cabinet, do not take it. Properly dispose it, and I will talk to you later about how to do that. Insulin breaks down quickly after expiration date, making it much less effective. So using it after this date can cause high blood sugar levels, which is very dangerous. An EpiPen, which is used in life-threatening allergic reactions like a bee sting reaction, this med also breaks down quickly after expiration date, which could be deadly since it may not work to stop a very serious allergic reaction. So if your EpiPen is expired, ditch it Well, before you ditch it, get a new prescription and ditch your old one. Another medication in which optimal effectiveness is super important is birth control, especially now. If taken after the expiration date, these meds can be less effective, which can lead to unwanted pregnancies, breakthrough bleeding, and spotting. So if you don't want a baby right now, do not take expired birth control meds. Also, many medications that require specific medication blood levels, if you're getting blood levels checked for your medications, they should not be taken after they've expired. Examples include Coumadin, which is a blood thinner, heart medications to control arrhythmias such as amiodarone, and medications to control seizures like Dilantin, Keppra, Lamictal, and Topamax. I want to point out that if you are taking these meds as directed, you should be taking the med long before they've expired. You should run out long before they've expired or need a new refill before they've expired. So if one of these meds, however, has been changed by your healthcare provider, so if your Topamax has been changed to Keppra, for instance, then in that case, you don't want to keep the med that's been replaced. Many people think, well, I'll just keep this med around just in case I need it, which is not a safe choice. So if your med's been changed, just dispose of the old one and start taking the new one. If you have children living in your home or visiting your home, clearing out any unused or expired over-the-counter and prescription meds is especially important. One study estimated that between 2004 and 2013, there were over 640,000 children taken to the emergency room after getting into their parents' medicine cabinets and accidentally taking medication. So the fewer meds you have around, the better. Additionally, make sure that the medications that you do keep are locked or stored out of your children's reach. In other words, keep them off your nightside table, your kitchen counter, your bathroom counter, your coffee table, for example. I've been in many homes and seen medications stored in all of those places. Yikes. While we're talking about storing meds, please be aware that theft and abuse of prescriptions is a serious problem, especially pain meds, ADHD medications, and benzodiazepines like Xanax. They all have very valuable street value, very high dollar street value. Keep them out of the hands of those who shouldn't have them. Store them in a secure location. Do not keep them in a place that someone could just walk by and pick them up, like the kitchen counter. Also, you should know that if you call your primary care office or whoever's prescribing these medications, you call that office and say, my Xanax has been stolen, my ADD med's been stolen, my hydrocodone's been stolen, whatever, it will not get replaced. They will not call you in a new prescription. So keep it safe so that you can take it if you need it and someone else who shouldn't have it doesn't end up with it and sell it on the street. Store your medication in an area that's cool and dry. Heat and humidity can break down medicines. The bathroom where most of us keep our meds is usually not a good place for them unless it's well ventilated. Also, some medications require refrigeration. Make sure to check the label. If your medication is shipped to you in a styrofoam cooler with ice packs, it is a good bet that it needs to be refrigerated. So how do we properly dispose of our meds? That is a constant conundrum for people. There is something called the National Drug Take-Back Day, which is coordinated by the DEA. This program allows people to turn in expired and unused medications for safe disposal. You just need to go to dea.gov/takebackday and enter your zip code, county, city, and state, and drop-off centers in your area will be listed. The next scheduled medication take-back day is October 29th, 2022. So it's coming up. Today's October 17th, coming up. So now is a good time to go through your medicine cabinets or wherever you store your meds and get rid of meds that are expired or that you are no longer taking. The next Take Back Day will be in April 2023. They do it twice a year. Improperly disposed of medications are ending up in landfills and surface water where these still potent drugs can harm the environment and contaminate our water supply. A study by the Puget Sound Mussel Monitoring Program found traces of oxycodone in the tissues of bay mussels. I'm just going to say that again. Oxycodone in the tissues of bay mussels. The researchers noted that finding pharmaceuticals and illicit drugs in area waters is not uncommon and could adversely impact other species as well. Many websites will state that pain medications should be flushed down the toilet. Please don't do this. I don't care what website it is, don't do this. It will come back to haunt all of us. One study found 47 different pharmaceuticals in source water samples and 37 different drugs in water after it has moved through water treatment plants across the U.S. So after it's been treated, 37 different drugs were found in the water. Please don't flush your meds down the toilet or down your sink, especially pain meds. And that's what they advise on these websites. Any pain med should be flushed down the toilet. An excellent option and my top recommendation to dispose of meds is to use a product manufactured by a company called Deterra, D-E-T-E-R-R-A. D-E-T-E-R-R-A. Deterra has an option for personal use versus commercial use, and they are stand-up pouches. You just put your unused, damaged, or expired meds in the pouch, fill it halfway full with water, seal it tightly, and put it in the trash. Deterra pouches are safer for the environment because the organic activated carbon in the packet permanently deactivates drugs, preventing potentially harmful medications from contaminating our landfills and water systems. The pouches themselves are plant-based, and they are made using 100% wind-generated power. Also, the pouches are made with environmentally sound and non-toxic ingredients. And it's pretty affordable. The pouches come in a pack of 3 and range in price of $18.75 for a pack of 3 small pouches, up to $25.77 for a pack of 3 large pouches, and shipping is included. The small pouches hold 15 pills, medium 45 pills, and large 90 pills. You can also put liquid medications in there as well. I am thinking of giving everybody on my Christmas list this gift of Deterra pouches. I know I'm hearing all of you out there going, thank goodness I'm not on Karen's Christmas list. But I think it really is a good gift for you to give to yourself and to your friends and family, because it's a gift for our environment. So consider putting it on your Christmas list for all your friends and loved ones as well. A recommendation that's commonly seen on websites is to mix your meds with something unpalatable like used cat litter, dirt, or used coffee grounds, then put them in a plastic bag and throw the bag away. However, this method does not deactivate the meds, so the medications can leach out into the landfill. Also, we're just putting more plastic in the earth with our plastic bags. If you absolutely cannot use either the Take Back program that is offered every October and April, or the Deterra pouch, which is the best option, I think, ask your healthcare provider if they will allow you to bring your unused or expired meds to their office to be disposed of in the office biohazard. In addition to expired and unused meds, medications that are damaged or discolored should also be thrown away. Remember that the next National Take Back Day is coming right up on October 29th, 2022. So right now is a good time to go through your medication cabinet and dispose of expired, unused, or damaged meds. Just go to the dea.gov/takebackday or Google the words Take Back Day to find a location nearest you. Again, I also recommend even more strongly getting Deterra pouches to dispose your meds, as this is the safest option for humans and the earth. Many thanks to Everlywell for sponsoring today's episode. Please visit our Facebook page, IMB Podcast, where you can leave more comments or questions. I really love hearing from you. Our website is itchyandbitchy.com. There are blogs there with some of our subjects available for you to read. And on our website and our Facebook page, we will post the information on how to schedule an appointment with me via Zoom to answer some questions that I have to help me develop the best possible online course for perimenopausal women. You can be part of this process. So just go to our Facebook page or our website, and all that information will be posted there. As always, thanks to Forrest Wenzel, our producer and composer of our theme music. Please check out his album called An Awful Lot. It's very creative. You'll enjoy listening to it, I promise. Go to wherever you stream your favorite music to listen. And if you don't know where to stream music, you can find the album on Apple Music or Spotify. As always, remember that your health is in your hands.